Area, what did you say?
8 units.
8 units. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across. So 8 units across. If you would like to answer what the height is, how many units, comment with an H, please. Jonathan.
2.
2 units. Axel, can you tell me what 2 times 8 is?
16.
16 square units. But let's count our shape and see. We should have 16 boxes in this shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So yes, we have 16. Is it faster to multiply than count? Yes, it is. It was for sure. So what? Oh, we're on this one. Do this one by yourself real quick, and we'll go over it, okay? So you're going to write what the base units are, and you need to write units, or you're not doing it correctly. The height units, and then how many total units we have. I noticed a lot of people aren't looking at their math book, which means they're not filling it out with me. You need to have your math book out and you need to be filling it out. You're working on this one. Let's get started. So if I need to call people out because they're looking at the computer screen instead of doing their math book, I will do that. Okay, we're going to go over that here. If you'd like to comment for base, write a B in the chat for me, please. B as in boy. Carter Arp, go ahead. Carter Arp, come on.
9.
That's not the base. The base is just across, bud.
3.
3, thank you. Vadir, tell me the height units, please. Vadir.
3.
Thank you. Area, how many units do I have total in my area?
9.
9, thank you. What relationship do you see among the base and the height in the area? Well, the product of the base and the height is equal to the area. So, area equals base times height. And no, I don't mean area cold. This is how area is what we're talking about for math, and it's spelled differently, okay? So area, please don't get confused and think I'm talking about you the whole math lesson, okay? There you go. Make sure you're writing that down, please. It says write a formula for area of a rectangle. Use the letter A for area, the letter B for base, the letter H for height. So the formula is area equals base times height. We only have one formula that we're working with today, which makes it a whole lot easier. This we just have to memorize. Base times height, base times height, base times height. You may even see it like this from me today, length times width. Okay? Turn the page. Here in a moment. I'll give you 10 more seconds. Okay. Turn the page for me. Carter, we don't need you to comment what page it is, okay? Thank you, but no thank you. Use the formula. You can use a formula to find the area. Area equals base times height. So this one, we're just going to be multiplying because look, there's no little squares in here to tell me what my area is. Okay, so area equals base times height. I typically take the biggest one and put as my base. That's just how I do it. So base is going to be 6 foot. So write 6 there. Height, I usually do the sides. So 2 foot. 6 times 2. Maria, what is 6 times 2?
12.
Thank you, 12. So the area for this shape, 12 square feet. This is how we write it. Feet squared. You can also write it like this, 12 SQFT. I preferred, this is the way I learned, was to write a little 2. That means square. Okay? So I'm going to write all my answers with the little 2 right there. Because what it's saying, why I have feet squared is because I'm taking 6 feet times 2 feet. When I multiply, it's not 12 feet. Okay? It's 1 feet squared because there's 2 of them. That's where this comes from, okay? So, next one. Area equals base times height. The base and the height are the same, so just write both 2. 2 times 2. Let's see here. Aiden D. Haven, what's 2 times 2, buddy?
4.
Thank you, 4. The area is of this shape 4 meters squared because there's 2 meters. That's where this M and the little 2 comes from. Your 2 has to be up in the air a little higher, and it has to be really small. It cannot be the same size as the M, or you did not write that correctly. Okay. So let's try this. Write a formula for the area of a square. Use the letter A for area. Use the letter blank for the length of a side. We're going to do S. So for square, area equals S times S. Side times side. Okay. We're right here at the bottom. This math lesson's going a lot faster than yesterday's. Find the area of the rectangle. Area equals base times height, B times H. I'm going to use my horizontal line as my base, so that 11 is going to be my base. My height is going to be 13. Now, I do not know this math problem off the top of my head, so I'm going to use this section here to write this out. 11 and 13, and I'm going to multiply. We know how to double digit multiply. We're going to start with 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Then I go diagonal. 3 times 1 is 3 again. This 1 is in the tens place, which means I need to drop a 0. And then I multiply with my 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 again is also 1. And then we know to add. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 143. And then I look at my label, centimeters squared. If you have a question, I need you to comment in the chat with a Q, please. A Q. Maria, what's your question, dear?
What does it mean that like the A, the letters?
The letters. This is when we work with area and perimeter, we have to use a formula, okay? So the A equals B times H is area. So in order to figure out this problem, it's saying the whole inside of this is A. The way I find that is by taking B, the base, times the H, which is the height. And then I have to plug in my numbers.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Carter Arp, you have a question.
No.
You commented with a Q in the chat.
Oh, I thought you said if you got that, put a Q.
No. Eric, do you have a question? You didn't put a Q, but it looks like you commented.
It's at the top at A.
Okay. What?
I don't get it.
Okay. The formula, area equals base times height. Base is typically the one going sideways like that. That's where I put the 6 in, was for base. Height going up and down. That's why that 2 is here. Then I multiplied 6 times 2 and got 12. This here, the FT, that is my label, foot. When I multiply 2 foot times foot, that equals foot squared. So that's where I got 12 feet squared. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Carter Arp, no, you have a question because you commented again. If you have a question, it needs to be a Q in the chat. I'm not responding to raised hands. What, bud?
It's on B. Like, you know how base? There is no base on B.
Yeah, there is.
It's just.
There's this line right here going sideways.
Oh.
This horizontal line is my base. The vertical line is my height. Okay? Area, you have a question.
What? Why do we write like that little 2 at the top after the FT? That's equals squared. FT squared.
No one needs to comment. I'm going to explain it, guys. This stands for squared. Whenever I take a unit times another unit, this is meter times meter. When I do that, I get 2 meters. And so my answer, if I did that, would be 4 mm. That's not how we write it in the math world. That's wrong, okay? That's why 2 m's multiplied together is squared. That's where this 2 comes from. Because we cannot write it like this, because this actually means millimeter, not meter. So if you write double letters, you may be writing the wrong answer because your label's wrong, okay? That's where that 2 comes from. And it's only for area, not perimeter, okay? Now, Aaron, you didn't comment with a Q, but somehow you have a comment in the chat. Do you have a question? Aaron froze. Do you have a question?
No.
Okay. Let's move on. Top of page 725. Find the area of the rectangle or square. I'm going to do number 2. You are going to do 3 and 4 here in a moment, okay? So first off, when we do this to show our work, I had some friends yesterday that did not want to write the formula. That's not showing your work. To show your work, you have to write area equals base times height. Then you write your numbers in. This is my horizontal line, so 7 is my base. Times. Mia, make sure you're muted, please. 2 vertical is my height. And I multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. So area equals 14 inches is my label. Inches squared. Okay? You try number 3 and 4. Now, these math problems are a little more hefty than 2 times 7. So you may have to do the math problem off to the side or on a scrap paper to figure out the answer.
Miss Cox.
What, Carter Art?
Is it 9 times 9?
Yep, because area for a square, it says right here, area equals side times side. So you'd have to write area equals S times S, and then plug in 9 times 9. If we were in person and I was, let's say we were doing this before lunchtime and I was checking you out to go to lunch, if you did not write the formula, you would not be going to lunch till you did write the formula. So make sure that you are writing the formula, okay? That's very, very important that you do that. Because if you just write 9 times 9 and then the answer, I don't know what you did because you didn't write the formula you used.
But how did I keep on getting 81?
That's because 9 times 9 is 81.
Oh.
I'm going to scoot this up and blow my nose real quick. When I'm done blowing my nose, I'll go over them. I don't want you using a calculator for your math. I'd rather you know your math facts. So, this one, I've already done part of it. It is confirmed 9 times 9 is 81 meters squared. When you write your answer, you have to also write area equals. So, area equals 81 meters squared, okay? This one, number 4, we are doing area equals base times height. Okay? Base is my horizontal line, so this time it's 8 times, and 14 is my vertical line, so that's my height. I need to multiply. I don't know 8 times 14 off the top of my head, so I'm going to multiply it off to the side. I know 8 times 4 is 32. Drop my 2, carry my 3. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 more is 11. So 112. Area equals 112 feet squared. If you got this correct, I need you to put in R in the chat for right. Not periods, boys. I don't need to see periods. You make sure you should have your formula written and you should have your answer written like that, or you should not be putting an R in the chat. Okay? Carter, you already put 1 R in the chat. I don't need 6 or 10 more R's after that, okay? Awesome. On your own, do 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to be calling on friends for these, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work. This one does not give me space. I probably should grab a scrap sheet. If you do not have one, go get one. You might need it. If you have a question, you need to comment with a question mark in the chat. I am not able to respond to raised hands because I can't see everyone raising their hand at one time. So, Aria, since you have a raised hand, you probably should comment with a question mark, okay? So I know for sure you have a question. Eric, stop. You have a question mark or a question mark in the chat, please. Maria, you have a question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know if you can put like 8 equals boxes or A equals S times S?
The only time we do S times S is for a square shape, like this, when both sides are the exact same. Okay? When it's base times height, that's a rectangle.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it on volatile? Because it's a prepositional phrase, so one of those is.
Okay. If you have number 5 done and would like to answer number 5, I need you to put a 5 in the chat, please. Axel, it's yours. Go ahead. Talk me through it.
So you do 13 times 5?
Hold on. What do I write down first before I start multiplying?
A equals B times H.
Yes, A equals B times H. Which one is my B, 13 or 5?
13?
Yep. What's my H?
5.
Okay. I don't know this off the top of my head, so we got to do it to the side. Talk me through the multiplication. 5 times 3.
5 times 3 is 15.
Okay, drop my 5. What do I do with the 1?
Put it by the other one.
Carry it. Good. 5 times 1 is?
5.
Plus 1 more?
6.
So 65, is that what you got?
Yep.
How do I write my answer? I write area equals 65 what?
Feet.
Feet what?
2.
Squared. Okay. If you would like to answer number 6, I need you to comment with a 9 in the chat. Area, it's yours. Talk me through it. What formula am I using?
A equals B times H.
This is a square. What's my formula for square? Side times side. S times S, okay? So then, did you write 13 times 13?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the math. You're going to have to talk me through the math. 3 times 3 is what?
169.
3 times 3 is what?
9.
Thank you. I don't want the full answer because I'm talking everyone through the math problem because not everyone maybe remembers how to multiply that way. So that's why we have to make sure on that. Also, then it helps me make sure you're not using a calculator. Okay? Now, next part. 3 times 1. What's 3 times 1, Area?
It's 3.
3. Thank you. Now, this is in the tens place, so what do I need to do next? Drop a
0.
Yes, ma'am. Then multiply. 1 times 3. What's 1 times 3?
3.
What's 1 times 1?
1.
Add them together. 9 plus 0.
9.
3 plus 3.
6.
1 plus 0.
1.
Thank you. 169. How do I write my answer? I write area equals 169 what?
Yard, and then you put 2.
Yep, that's called squared, guys. Yards squared. If you would like to answer number 7, I need you to put an @ sign in the chat. An @ sign. That's shift 2. Carter Arp, it's yours, bud. Tell me what formula I'm writing. Carter Arp. Okay, maybe he left the chat. Gonna call a new friend. Max, walk me through it. What formula would I write first?
A equals B times H.
Okay, A equals B times H. Now, what is my B?
Base.
Yes, what number would I put there? Now, this
Yeah.
shape is diagonal instead of straight, so I would put what, 20?
Yeah,
My height, what's my height, Max?
2.
2. We can do 2 times 20 in our head. What is 2 times 20, Max?
40.
40. How would I write my answer? I would write area equals 40 what?
Square feet. Square centimeters. I'm confused.
Centimeters squared.
Yeah.
Just like that. Awesome. Okay. This one, there's no shape, but it tells us base and height. So I want you to do number 9 only. Do number 9. We're going to start with area equals base times height. 9 times 17. You do the math. Okay? So I would write that to the side so I can multiply. If you know what 17 times 9 is, comment in the chat with the letter K. K. Carter Arp, you didn't get to answer the last one. Can you answer this one for me? Were you having microphone issues or what's going on?
I forgot to unmute.
Okay. So, walk me through this. What's 7 times 9?
7 times 9 is 153.
7 times 9 is not 153. No calculator. You should know this. What is it? What's 7 times 9, buddy? You would find out that it's 63, correct? Did he leave? I guess so. Guess I'm doing it. 63. Drop my 3, carry my 6. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 6 more is 15. So 153. I would write that area equals 153. Yards are written YD squared. Okay? If you have a question mark in the chat for me, please. Because we're about to assign our assignment. So if you have a question, now is the time to ask it. Area, go ahead.
I thought Carter said once 153.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to tell me what 7 times 9 was. He did his math on a calculator, but he couldn't tell me when we broke down the problem. So it is 153, but we had to break it up so we know how to do our multiplication. Right? Yes. Okay. On our math book, we are page 727, no, number 6. So you need to do 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm not reading the word problems to you today, but you need to remember to write your formula and everything else. On the next page, 728, you are not doing number 6, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to work on. Then if you get on It's Learning, you will find out that we have other math things assigned to us. We will have a Mega Math 13.2 and Animated Math Models 13.2 and also Math Review that you are working on today. In 1 hour, you have art class. So that's 1 hour for you to work on your math and whatever else you have not finished up, okay? You may go ahead and get started.